Welcome, Yosla. So today I'm gonna bring you Jezebel. So this game came out from yesterday to today. So it's published by Sci-Fi, so you know how it works. If you want to see all the content, you need to download the patch from their website. So Jezebel, it's in early access, not full release. So basically it has chapter 1 and part of chapter 2. It will take to 12 months to 24 months. And it's a visual novel, so here we go. You are a vessel of malice, machination, and indifference, a pitiful soul fated to bring ruin wherever you dare to tread. You felt this way for as long as you can remember. Were you fated to this callous existence, or was it the world that made you this way? If you ever knew the answer to that question, you have long since forgotten. You were born in the wind of 946 year. Your home is Hostgate, capital of Kingdom of Liscoria. It is commonly referred to as the City of Endless Spring. The kingdom is ruled over by the royal family of Felner, who seized power for the legendary Nikitin nearly a century ago. Under Felner kings, civilization is organized by way of multi-partite system. Cities are split into territories, each of them governed by a great house. Liscorians largely follow the polytheistic Verunian faith. It preaches the existence of two gods who work in tandem: Verun, the god of order, and Korban of chaos. Together they are said to give the human race the framework to find a healthy balance between the two and become good and righteous in its way. You are a daughter of the Devera dynasty, the House of the Dagger, noble great family, with significant influence and power in Hostgate and the kingdom at large. Your name is Duvessa de Vero. The eldest child of your branch of the family, you grew up in a city luxury, with Hostgate established itself as one of the world's major hubs for trade and manufacturing. The world was changed with the rise of merchant class, enriched the nobility and the peasantry both. Many will even say it began to blur the lines between the two. Your parents greatly benefited from this economic boom, growing ever wealthier from the taxation of their various holdings. Determined to make you an exceptional child worthy of great adulation, they spare no expense in ensuring you will be a prodigy at whatever education endeavor you pursued. Though you never managed to quite care about such frivolous things, you appreciate the respect and recognition they stood to bring you, and play your part to perfection. Which field did you choose to study? Okay. Let's go for music. Oh, look at me. From a young age, you establish yourself as a musical prodigy. With your flute, you can bring a quiet room to life. Your sharp can turn any head and demand attention. You can enchant and hypnotize with your voice. Many a time, your dazzling performance became the centerpiece of your family extravagant gatherings. Your undeniable talent has allowed you to attract admirers and devotees with ease. Like moths to a flame, they ensnare themselves in the web you weave. Soon after your 6th birthday, your parents gleefully informed you that your mother was with child, and that you will soon have a sibling. Your brother Dedrick was born in the spring of 952nd year. Being the oldest, he immediately became the heir to your family holdings. For this you always hated him. Despite your young age, your thoughts for deceit and subterfuge were already blossoming. You had to make a conscious decision on how you will deal with your young sibling moving forward. What attitude do you take with your brother? I made clear that he was my enemy. I pretended to like him, I ignored him altogether. I pretended to like him, of course. We're not gonna say that we are his enemy, we're gonna pretend that we like him, of course. You decided that the best way to deal with your rival was to give him a false sense of security. For years you meticulously crafted a relationship full of affirmation and warmth. Your parents often remarked that you were the closest siblings that they knew. All this is to ensure that his guard will be down the moment you choose to stab him in the back. As you reached adolescence, you came to accept the reality of your increasing devious nature. Power was the only consequential matter there was, little else moved you. You started to push the envelope further and further when it came to your various schemes and manipulations. You will often attempt to defraud the other children or spread rumors about them to decrease their social esteem. You largely manage to keep your involvement in these plots a secret. Among your peers, however, you gain a reputation for your brash and rebellious nature. As your infamy spread, people began to refer to you as the Dagger Diva, a term of endearment for some and to others a condemnation. In your 15th year, you successfully orchestrated your first master plan. Some might say that this was when you passed a point of no return. What do? After a noble former, I entered the world of organized crime. I accused my rival of witchcraft. Okay, the organized crime. From early on, you display an interest in a business that was uncommon amongst the nobility. While most lords were generally content to collect tax from their holdings and not bother themselves further, you took their success in the market very seriously. You had long developed a reputation for visiting merchants and pets under your family thumb and checking to make sure that everything was running smoothly, offering help when needed. You were lauded for the extent of abnormal kindness you show your inferiors. Despite the difference this time, many of them came to love and cherish you. At a certain point, the merchants began to complain about a league of highwaymen who were driving away customers with their frequent muggings. Intrigued, you met with the leader of the group and proposed that they work in your employ, targeting only the other districts of the city and driving their business away. Once you reached an arrangement, they got to work. Soon after, several areas of Gate amassed a reputation for the rampant crime that had suddenly broke out. People began flocking to your family holding to the business. The hike in tax your family collected more than made up for the expense of paying the bandits. From then on, you continued to do business with Black Hilt's highwaymen, a fact you kept from everyone in your family. Not long afterward, you experienced real adversity for the first time. Your mother suddenly fell ill. The kingdom's best physicians seemed clueless as to the nature of her ailment. It wasn't long before she was gone. How do you feel about your mother's death? Pleased. Yes, I was pleased. Empty, devastated. For reasons unbeknownst to you, your mother had always been the one person you truly cared about. Her love was a valuable commodity to you. You were always trying to win more of it, deceiving her into believing you were a child worth of her was one of your highest priorities. When she died, a part of you died as well. You had lost the first and only real connection that you have ever made. As you blossom into a woman, your beauty became more and more undeniable. You found yourself amazed at the sudden control you held over the opposite sex. Whenever you turned heads on the street or when a man was spellbound to doing your bidding, you fell infatuated with your newfound strength. Over time, you developed a new driving force in your life. When you were younger, although that drove you was desire for power along with all the fun of getting what you want, but you came to learn that amorous encounters gave you a thrill that was just strong. It began to control you. It made you forget about the monotony of daily life, and for that you needed it. Eventually you were able to reconcile your two greatest passions. You realized that the newfound opportunities your good looks could create, that they were in fact one of your most powerful tools. You resolved to make your first amorous encounter one that might get you ahead in the game of life. It had to be with someone who held authority over you, someone who could compromise control. Who did you set your sights on? My teacher, my father's rival, the best of the monastery. My father's rival, white teacher. The Devereux dynasty of Rosegate has long been embroiled in a heated feud with the Calder family, another prominent noble house. The feud has raged on for nearly 100 years, and its intensity has seen its fair share of peaks and valleys. For as long as you have lived, it has been particularly vicious, and all because of the rivalry between the Calder patriarch Lord Andrea and your father. The two engaged in a heat feud to win your mother's hand in marriage, with your father ultimately emerging the victor. Andrea's ego never truly recovered from being deemed your father's inferior by the woman he desired most. From that point onward, you had used his power in any way possible to be torn in Devereux's side. Most prominently used his position as master of trade on the king's council to stifle your family income. He caused the king to pass an embargo on the spice trade that threatened to financially devastate Devereux, which collected a significant portion of its total revenue from spice. If you could get rid of the embargo, it would doubtless result in more power and resource for your family. You tried to weaponize Carl ego against him. He knew that his insecurity of your father besting him would pale in comparison to the confidence he would gain from beating his greatest enemy daughter. That he would do anything to have you. As such, you made a proposition. You will be allowed to seduce you in exchange for putting an end to the embargo and never antagonize the world again. He happily accepted and consummated your agreement shortly thereafter. You have fond memories of these days, spending your hours discovering yourself in new ways while your house reaped the benefits. You are 19 here. You were blindsided by news from your father. In your complacent understanding, you had assumed that all of your efforts over the years had raised your station beyond that of merry woman. That you will always have a place at your father's side, a say in the model of your own dynasty. But of course, the simple fact was that your brother was going to be the one to take over the family one day. Not you. You were to be married to a noble famed Wesley and sent off to live in Red Kingdom. At least that was the plan, but you never seriously entertained it. Someday you were going to be one to run the world. In fact, your ambitions were for a grander. Life is nothing but a game with winners and losers. You were a winner. You'll do anything to be a winner. You had made more than enough friends in high place over the years to find an adequate safe haven to lay low. That very night you performed your imminent marriage, you crept out of your home and left the city behind. But this was only temporary. You'll find a way to come back. You'll find a way to desert your brother. You will return to Rosegate and become the most powerful woman Liscoria has ever known. It was your destiny. 5 years later. So we have 24 now. Far from the city of endless spring, in a grove where the early winter waits on, a young man is woken from a long rest. As he tries to move, he realizes the restraints on his limb are no more. His newfound freedom is short-lived. He feels someone grab him from behind. His blindfold too is lifted. At least he can see. It will take his eyes a moment to adjust to the blinding light, a moment he does not have. He is violently thrown onto the hard snow, landing with a thud. Fighting his disorientation, greets his teeth and tempted stands. What? Where the Strakova interlands, one of the lesser-known border regions. Brother dearest, my, look at you, you've grown so handsome. Duvesa, sister, what's going on? I show up at midnight just like you asked. I didn't tell father or anyone about the letter you sent me. Some man jumped at me. Next thing I know, I'm bowed and gagging in the back of a carriage. What am I doing here? Were you behind this? Why did you leave me? Hey, answer me. Do you have any idea how hard it was for me? I never worried myself to death. I spent so much time looking for you. All the grief father gave me because I never got over you has been such a disappointment to him, to the family. I didn't know if you were dead or if you owe me an answer. You shut up, shut your mouth. I can't hear myself think over the sound of this insane prattle. You gibbering jackal. Yes, that's better. Some silence at last. Listen closely, brother. I'm not one to repeat myself. I couldn't care less about the trite struggles of yours. I never did, for that matter. But what are you saying? Hehehe. You always made it so easy for me, my beautiful baby brother. Don't fret now. I may hate you with every fiber of my being, but it's nothing personal. So all those years you were faking it, all of it? C'est correct. And you were none the wise all the while. You got to hand me my flowers. What with the way I made you believe in me? The performance of a lifetime. I'm not sure I believe you. No one is that good of an actor. Not even you. I think I know you better than you realize. I think that will be enough of that. I'm tired of this nonsense. Listen up. I'll clue you in. You see, you find yourself in a quite precarious predicament. The girl. What? The girl, silly. She's been working for me the entire time. The poor dear nearly took pity on you. What with the way you convince yourself that she loves you? What? You mean Vesca? You are joking. I mean, it's no joke, brother. Your illicit affair was nothing more than the brainchild of yours truly. She loves you just as much as I ever did. That is to say, not at all. Your entire life has been nothing more than a web of falsehoods, wondrously weaved with my magnificent machinations. I mean, come on now. You really thought that you were sharp enough to seduce the Lord Steward's wife? Please. People are all the same. Everyone thinks they can trust themselves enough to trust others. You haven't a clue what's really going on in anyone's head but your own, you know. I mean, you trusted me for all those years, hmm? No, no, she was just a mechanism through which I kept my eye on you, and you were just a foolish boy thinking with his growing. How terribly typical. What happens now? Are you going to kill me? Oh, don't be so dramatic. Were my intention to kill you, would I have dragged you to the border and wasted my time brief on this conversation? I still could not live with myself had I passed up on the chance to boast of my victory to your face. Otherwise, this merely where we part ways. And what do I do now? None of my concern really. But I won't go back to Liscoria, where are you? After all, you are wanted for murder. What? Who? I mean, I'm afraid that the Honorable Lord Sir Michel, or Michael, has met a gruesome hand, and they found your knife at the scene of the crime, not to mention your blood-soaked garments. By now, your darling Vesco will already testify to the Inquisition that you must have done it all in jealous rage. Seems it was a classic case of unrequited love. She had been rejecting your advance for some time, but you couldn't take no for an answer. Why, it seems you decided that if you couldn't have her, no one could. Of course, father will desert you at once, leaving the door wide open for my glorious return to the city, wherein I take my rightful place as sole devourer higher. Hehehe. Ha ha. Got nothing left to say, tongue-tied are we? If it was all a lie all these years, why are you wearing that necklace? Hmm? You me just try to add the insult to injury. Is that it? No, you think me that petty? I don't know what to think anymore. That's understandable. All of this must be quite a lot to take in. No, I don't know why, in earnest. I like wearing it. I suppose there needn't be any greater significance, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about your future, shall we? Things might look bleak right now, but I'm sure you'll get over all of this in due time. This is the perfect opportunity to harden that frail constitution of yours, just like I always told you to. You might just thank me for this someday, you know. Duvesa, what you have done is beyond forgiveness. I'm going to find a way back to Rosegate, and I'm going to kill you. I said hope you try. Gosh, that sounds like fun. But to try not to be a sore loser once I prove my superiority yet again. Farewell for now, baby brother. Best of luck. You really need it. Haha. Episode 1, Repatriation. Like certain words are like, god damn. My lady. Why is it? I'm sorry to wake you. Think of nothing yet. I'll sleep when I'm dead. We are here, there it is, the city. So it is. How do you feel? Well, I've been dreaming of this moment for 5 years, but you're less than satisfied? Of course, I have so much work to do. At the end of the day, it's nothing more than a bunch of wood, stone, brick and mortar. I've not been nothing. I never been particularly besotted with the city itself, I suppose. Besotted? What the heck does that mean? I believe it's another way of saying that she's less than smitten with the city. And I believe that no one invited you to this conversation, you big lout. You have worked for me long enough to know I don't care to define words for you. I don't reckon you can have a private conversation, son, when we are all in the carriage together. Well, don't reckon I pay you to speak. Are you quite alright, my lady? Just fine, I've grown accustomed to Browncush foolishness over the years. Where would you like me to drop you off once we are inside? The Kingsworm spawn in the northern part of town. Of course. Allow me to thank you for everything once more while I have the chance, sir. You done me a good turn. I won't forgive it. I won't forget it. I appreciate your kind words, my lady, but I'm a no knight. I hope you'll be staying for a while. I'm sure I can make a good use of you in the near future. For a time, unto my servants I desire elsewhere. Well, when that happens, you come to me. I can beat their price. I'm quite certain that I'm about to have very deep pockets. She's too confident already. The king's sworn span never changed. Its housing is sequestered from the merchant peasant class, as well as most direct path to Castle Griffon. The typically only members of the nobility may enter. As such, if it is a place of tranquility and decadence. And much like the nobility itself, it seems immune to progress and innovation, to change. It is a cold and sterile neighborhood, full of generic homes and lifeless streets. This place had been my cage for many years. The boorish men at the gate over there are required by law to ask any unaccompanied women or children their explicit reason for leaving, if ever they try. This information, along with the records of their comings and goings, is jotted down and sent to the patriarch of their household once a week. For me, this just wouldn't do. I need to get out and be where things were happening. I bored dreadfully easily. I wonder if the secret passageways I had installed are still there. Hopefully I won't be needing them once more. Is this where we part ways, my lady? For now, Branco. But remember, I want you close by. I'll call upon you once again. Where will I be able to find you in the city? It's always around the docks when I'm here. You'll likely find me at the Rustic Raccoon. That whorehouse depends on the time of day. Right. Well, you enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for your assistance. Hold up, huh? You only pay me half of what you owe. It's gonna need the rest before I get out here. I'll need about 4 coins. You have 10. Can I pay you later? You'll have it when I feel like I give it to you. So only to see how it saves. Okay. Save. So one thing. Alignment. Wealth. Okay. I'll have it when I feel liking it. Don't take that tone with me, you big ape. I'll bring it to you when I feel like it. But won't have you breach me like I'm an ordinary client of yours, understood? Well, it's me in office, Malay. I'm just running a business here. So don't should take too long now. Else gonna come get ya. Hey, get lost, creep. Okay, but it's not the best. I only want to see if something will happen. Can I pay you later? It appears like this. Or this is the pulse. Oh, this is the pulse, okay. Brank, this is far from the first time you've been in my employ. You know you can trust me. I'm just gonna leave time to get the money together. I'll come visit you, I promise. Okay, my lady, but I'll be seeing you first if you take too long. I have some faith in me, why don't you? I make my way across the daily play bridge and toward the gate. The golfers on guard are about as cheaper as I expect when I arrive. Who goes there? Who's asking? What? Well, if you were to be acquainted, I'll need your name. We added, have you any business in Spain? I don't recognize you. Nor I you. Besides, when I asked your friend here to introduce himself. Whom doth mine utterance reach in this tapestry of earthly disclosure? What? I think she's mocking you. Nay, sir, I engage but in the humble art of gracious deportment. Deportment? I believe it means well-mannered. Ah, calamity. Could it perchance be that the eloquence of my rhetoric doth overwhelm thy modest intellect? What's a doff? It means do, I think. She's trying to be fancy. Verily, I perceive that thy alacrity surpassed that of thy company. However, let it be known, ere long shall I manifest my unparalleled mastery of the lingual arts, thereby eclipsing thy unassuming prowess. What? Alright, I had enough of this. Beat it, or I'll have you thrown in a cell for a week. Why, sir, that wouldn't be wise. And why is that? Whatever will your superiors think when it comes to the attention you have jailed the rightful heir of Devereux? What heir of Devereux is wanted for murder, girl? You know, if we were going to try and impersonate noble, it would have been brighter to go with any other family. Watch your tongue, oh, you know my treasonous young broad no longer represents our great house. That honor goes squarely to me, to Viesa Devereux, the radiant beauty making her righteous return to Rosegate. Ish, just check your genealogy records. Danden, Danilov, Tyashenko, Derov, and Devereux, here we are. Won't you know it, the Rosegate branch, there does indeed have a Duvesa that was reported missing 5 years ago. Hold on a moment. Duvesa Devereux? Where do I know that name? That's it, the Dagger Diva. Dagger Diva? You know, that noble woman. The one who was rumored to be a huge bitch? Ah, of course. Is that really you are claiming to be the Dagger Diva? The one and only, though I could do without the huge bitch part. A likely story. Again, if you had opened to impersonate and no, this wasn't the wisest choice. Look, you and I both know that your job requires you to verify my identity. Why don't we stop this charade? Bring me to my father already. Ha! Fine, come with me. But note that I will be making good on my early remarks about the cell if you are wasting my time. 5 years, and yet I will start to name a single thing that looks different. I'm surrounded by the same droll nothingness. It feels as though I never left. It's peaceful and quiet, they say. This place is chock full of nobles raised to appreciate isolating tedium. Never needing for money, they tell themselves that they are content to waste away in lavish lethargy until they kill over and die. These are the thoughts that plague my mind as I come ever close to reunite with my father, the man who may as well be boredom incarnate. Good afternoon, Lord Seneschal Devereaux. Yes, what is it? Well, apparently, sirs, but I have with me here someone who claims to be related to you. What? I don't see anyone with you. Indeed, I'm partly hiding behind the guard. He's a big, burly brute covered in the thickest of mail. After all, he soon steps aside for the ground reveal. Oh, father, I happen to be in the area. What a pleasure to see you again. He returns to face the guard. You can go. Right, thank you, sir. Well, invite me in already. My father starts back inside with so much as closing his front door. I suppose it falls on me to follow him, though he's neglected to glance back at me. He stops only once he's reached the study. He looked no different than when I had last seen him, at least not at first glance. Upon close respect, however, well, he's gotten weaker, older, fatigued. He said doesn't seem to be astonished by my return. I mean, he still not uttered a single word. Duvessa, Daddy? I didn't know whether I'll see you again, but I suppose I had a feeling you will show your face sooner or later. Where have you been for the past 5 years? I'm afraid that's classified. I had off my mind to generate you entirely back then. I imagine you are aware that I would say against it. Guilty as charged, I kept a knife or two on the goings on of our dynasty from afar. You have brought shame and dishonor to this family with your selfish and irresponsible actions. Our relationship with those of Wesley was in irreparable damage after your engagement fell apart. The East has become a diplomatic dead end for us because of what you did. Anyone over there who knows the name Devereaux has come to associate it with lies and broken promises, and who wants to make friends with someone they can trust. Spare me the theatrics. What exactly were you planning to do with this newfound alliance of yours? Travel to the Red Kingdom to attend an exotic ball or two? Exchange empty pleasantries with some forgotten aristocrats you'll never see or hear from again? Add a few new serfs to your collection and throw their tax money on top of the pile? You are the ambitious persuasion, Daddy. Your shiny new alliance will only have brought you more headaches. I never understood why you choose to play political games from the start. Distance yourself from preconceptions of tradition and precedent, and it's plain to see they don't suit you. Face it, it's your own fault for forcing me into an engagement you knew I didn't want. Do you expect me to just let you sign my life away? I expect you to adhere to your responsibilities as a member of this family and as my daughter. You've been away for a long time. Don't presume that things are the way you left them. And present, our slugs are numerous. The Devereaux of Rosegate has never been in more jeopardy. We could start to use some allies in this trying time. Nonsense, problems are problems, they always solutions. Don't get me wrong, far be it from me to deny the advantage of having friends in high places. No man is an island, or they say. However, this implicates that the Devereaux dynasty needs anyone else's help in blunt display of weakness. I won't have it. We have old money in this city that dates back hundreds of years. Our legacy is undeniable. Devereaux shall prosper with or without the support of anyone else. I'm wrong. Yes, daughter. I suppose you're right. Now, why don't you bring me up to speed on these problems of yours? I'll sort them out then post haste. First, I'll rather address the 1,000-pound bear in the room. In this room? Where? Look, your brother is a good lad. Kind, naive, vulnerable. He lacks the position of a leader, but he has a good heart nonetheless. Now I'm meant to believe that he is guilty of a most heinous crime, the cold-blooded murder of King II. As a father, it's difficult to comprehend. The claims made by the late or steward wife notwithstanding, I just don't see him doing such a thing. In fact, I believe he's been set up, framed, and now, mere days after his appearance, you show up for the first time in 5 years. What am I to make of that? Of course, you'll think that maybe we are behind of everything, right? Because we only appear when happens that. What can I say? I'm opportunist. I'm upset by his absence. I'm not here to replace him. No, I'm opportunist. Father, you know me. I've always been transparent with you about my desire to lead our humble family to unprecedented greatness. And you, in turn, have been equally forthcoming about your desire to see my baby brother take the role in my stead. This, of course, is why I disappeared to begin with. Yes, but now the tables have turned. Of course, I was going to turn up decent brother was out of picture. My intentions are clear. Now, I don't know whether he murdered Lord Kinza. You know I think the world of him, but frankly I don't much care. I'm going to seize the opportunity that has miracles been afforded to me, so that I can prove myself and make you proud, Daddy. But if you are trying to imply that you suspect I was involved in some sort of grand conspiracy, well, that will break my heart just a little. It will make me feel like Dad doesn't know me at all. I might be an apex predator, but I've always been reasonably honest. That this is the truth. Cross my heart and hope to die. He froze his brow in a manner that seems to suggest I already broken him. He's complete about it. You're right. I'm sorry for doubting you, my darling. It's just a most difficult time for me right now. I don't know what to believe anymore. Well, fret not. I'm here for you now, so believe in me. Alright then, let's get to formality out of the way first. You'll have to kneel down, it's tradition. Of course. I should have a sword around here somewhere. Lord Seneschal Dalla Devereux, Patriarch and Duke of Devereux Dynasty in Hosgate, Dim D.T., late Dovesa Devereux, rightful heir to my lands and titles. Henceforth you shall be known as next Duchess of Devereux. You shall function as my second until the time of my death or abdication. As the current title, I reserve the ability to retract these rights from you at any time. Do you accept these conditions? I do. Have you any objections? None, my lord. Then rise shalt. Yes, thank you, Daddy. I shan't disappoint you. Alright, are you ready to be brought up to speed on the problems we currently face here in Hostgate? Born ready, Daddy. Excellent. By my estimation and broadly speaking, there are currently three major issues plaguing us and standing in the way of our success. I'll brief you on them, let's say in order of least to most possessing. Ish, that's a bit boring. Let's begin. As you know, Devereux is home to some of the city's most busy, profitable mercantile streets. That doesn't change in the time since you've been gone. However, around a month ago, we began to receive complaints from vendors, shopkeepers, or our lesser vassals, as well as their words even reach you. It isn't like you to concern yourself with the grips and groans of small folk. Well, normally I'll leave such matters to my subordinates, yes, but this rather serious. But I thought this was the least pressing issue. Unfortunately so. Our markets are being flooded with unlicensed vendors who are trying to price out our vassals. We are dealing with so many of them that our guards can't keep up. On top of that, we have received numerous reports of vandalism, theft and assault throughout our commercial roads. In just past week, we have been intercepted an attempt at arson, though the perpetrator got away. This all occurred simultaneously. It seems it doesn't reflect any larger trend or gradual change going on elsewhere in the city. In fact, according to Chief Justiciar, crime is actually down citywide. Our commercial roads, plural, they are all separated by a quite distance. If these crimes all start occurring at the same time and all in our territory, then they've got to be coordinated, right? Indeed, this represents a target attack on Devereux property. We can assume that whoever is responsible is politically motivated. The sudden influx of unlicensed merchants all started out of nowhere around a month ago. You think the merchants and criminals have some benefactor then? Yes, I'm certain of it. Someone is trying to damage our property, threaten our people and bankrupt our licensed vendors. Have you taken any preventive measures? Well, I beefed up security in the factories, but we only managed to make a few arrests. As I said, the market have been unusually busy of late. Now souls are spread within, policing a flood of people. Any of the thugs you did catch say anything useful? They didn't know anything. You have a reason to believe that the real criminals behind all of this are still out there. Sadly, our efforts have been rather costly in and of themselves. The constant rage by our guards don't exactly satisfy people to go shopping. It sounds like your plan failed, Eddie. Yes, it seems that way. Well, don't feel too bad. It wasn't very good. Thanks. Call off your dogs for now. I think it will be best if I investigate the area and try to find the source of our troubles. The entire situation is far too suspicious. There has to be a mastermind behind it all. How exciting. Moving on. Here's where things start to get serious. Do you remember where our principal manor is located? Where our serfs live? Don't patronize me, Griffin Beak, around 2 kilometers outside of the city. Correct. It seems the rabble have grown discontent. They start withholding their tax a while ago. On top of that, they start making noise about staging a revolt. I suppose they are looking to get slaughtered then? Well, my hope is that it need to not come to that. Sadly, corps they don't pay tax either. Have you tried asking them what is they want? I don't believe in negotiating with terrorists. Even if terrorists are hurting your bottom line, I'll see what I can find out from them. However, I expect a cut of my own if I convince them to pay you what they owe. Yes, of course, baby. Finally, we have the most pressing matter at hand, by a lot. Oh no, did you get a noble woman pregnant? What? I never. Hee. You are so easy to fluster. Proceed. I'm not sure I want to. Proceed. As I'm sure you know, the House of Kings is furious with us at present. They are petitioning the king to grant them a swift retribution. Oh, could it be because Bro assassinated their patriarch? Honestly, nobles aren't their petty grips. Don't speak like that in this house, Duves. I believe that Edric is innocent. And we are going to get to the bottom of his art. What is that set him up in due time? Yes, of course. Now get to the point. There is to be a trial in front of His Majesty in a week's time. It is to be held, of course, at Castle Griffin. A trial? Yes, a blood tribunal to be exact. You mean? Yes, it's to be a trial in absentia. The House of Devereux will be prosecuting Dendrick's place. I'll spit out my drink if I had one. To call this unexpected snag will be putting things mildly. There is no way. A blood tribunal? I mean, what year is it? To punish the entire family for a crime committed by an individual. This stuff of history. It's unheard of in today's day and age. Barbaric. Yes, well, I'll say the stage of sitting Lord Silver is quite unprecedented in its own right, wouldn't you? You and I have been lucky enough to live in a time of relative stability up till now. We have not seen so much adversity in Gates since the days of Trident's End. Nothing but ancient history to you and the subject of tall tales from my knowledge when I was a boy. Yes, mine was the last generation to hear the stories of the men and women who experienced such great strife and uphill evil. I think it's fair to say that we've grown complacent. These are not time for him to get all philosophical on me. Does he think that Michal, or like that will create some sort of domino effect? Kisa is man just and given the strength of the evidence the king has seen fit to grant it to them, albeit in a rather unconventional fashion. The strength of the evidence, he says, I've been failed by my own ingenuity. I'm literally saved from success. How is this going to work precisely? What do we stand to lose? Well, everything, huh? The outcome has potential to be dire. Spit it out then. We can all but assume that Edric will be found guilty. As I say, the evidence speaks for itself and there are no other suspects at the moment. As per the rules of old, our only defense lies in our track record. That is to say, we have to prove our loyalty to the kingdom and its subjects. What in the world are you talking about? Unless Devereux is proven to be sufficient value to King Felinor. Our land will be subjugated by Kinza. We will report to them rather than to His Majesty. In other words, we will cease to be a great house. What? But they they can't do this to us. Devereux had already been in kingdom for hundreds of years where Felinor showed up. My part, they will never have won that little rebellion without our help. They owe us perpetually. Without us, the nicotine will be in charge of to this very day rather than cowering in Tresgard. I know, but and to Queens of all else, intolerance has never been a vice of mine, but we all know of their reputation for being too forgiving. There is no chance that the old guards of kingdom will just accept the family they already think outside consolidate such power. There will be a war. I consider that myself, but I think a new are King's Lord essential. Haven't your years of service around a silver or a sliver of loyalty? Never forget, West, that to be appointed to the council is an honor and privilege. His Majesty doesn't need any of us. And unfortunately, my proximity to King Felner is of little merit, because he was much closer to the man who was murdered. The Lord Stewart, the kingdom's second. More than just that, Michel was the king's closest friend and advisor. He got to be distraught over all of this. He's already gone ahead and named Michel's brother Davor the next Lord Silver, which means the person closest to the king's ear is the one who stands to benefit the most from our failure. Davor is one of who gave him the idea for this punishment, no doubt. I suppose we have to play their little game for now. Do you think we'll pass the test in our current state? I will doubt it, especially not with all the mess we already find ourselves in. Word gets around. Well, this isn't how I imagined I'll be spending my first week back, but folks, this is nothing but another obstacle for me to overcome. The matter's not that you have nothing to fear. I told you that I will make you proud. I, the West I'm going to single-handedly solve all of our problems in just a week's time. My sheer competence will be undeniable to His Majesty, and we shall continue on as we did before, reaching new heights of power and propriety. I admire your confidence as always. I suppose I really miss it while you were gone. You'll never lack for my confidence again, Daddy. I'm here to say. Well, I wish we could catch up more. Despite everything, I'm relieved to see that you're okay. There will be plenty of time for chit chat once I'm done saving our skin. Indeed, well, be on the way then. I'll help in any way I can. Actually, you could be used to me right now. I need to make another stop here in the span. Do you know just where Lord Stewart Michel lived? You mean his home? I do. Why do you want to know? I need to speak with his wife, Duvesa. I don't think that wise. Dedrick has been accused of murdering her husband. She won't be willing to cooperate with you in any way. If anything, she may try to assault you on the spot. Hehehe. Trust me, that's not going to happen. Alright, go that way and take the next two left. They live in the ugly greenhouse. Ugly. It's already useful in the fire when it comes to this neighborhood, but I'm sure I will find it. Right then, Duvesa. He parts his arms and approaches me for a hug. Hug him. I stand there for allow him to warp his arms around me. I ever so lightly reciprocate before I excuse myself and backing away. Hugs have always made me feel an envious sort of way. I never seem to feel warmth that others do. Practically, I'm only getting squished. Bye for now, Daddy, dearest. Farewell. We need to trick too. Ugly indeed. We can add bad taste to the list of late Lord Stewart scenes. As soon as this seat belongs to me, I'm tearing this finger down. Knock, knock, let me in. Hell! Ah, you are Duvesa. Oh my god, you are really here. You must be the luminous lady Queenza. So delighted to finally make your acquaintance in person. What gave me away, I wonder? The necklace. You say you will be wearing the necklace. Haha. I'm honored by your enthusiasm. I can see that you are rather excited to meet me. The poor girl is practically hyperventilating. I step inside and shut the door behind me before people start to stare. She sits in the far corner of the room, too petrified to look me in the eye. So, lovely place, the interior that is. Thank you. I loved what you've done with the candelabra, very fancy. I didn't do anything. This is what my husband know before I moved in. My husband. This is going to be difficult, isn't it? I'll cut to the chase. I trust that everything went smoothly. Yes, I did everything you told me to. Are they? What is that you tell the chief justicar? I assume that he interrogated you. Exactly what you told me to say in your last letter. I told them that Edric probably killed him. Hey now, don't start crying on me, darling. What will people think if they saw you in tears over my brother, Crying over the man who stalked you and murdered your beloved husband. That will look ever suspicious, don't you think? Yes, I'm sorry. Has anyone else of significance been in contact with you? The king is offered his condolence and told me I will have to testify in the trial next week. Yes, the trial. I'm overseeing developing a royal pen in my ass. I need to figure out how best to use you in that environment. You'll have to reiterate that my brother killed my Michelle, disastrous as it may be for my own house. One more question. What is that transpired on the night Michelle was killed? Well, I was in the bedroom at night with my husband. In this very house? No, it all up at Queen's Stronghold, not here. I left at 3 in the morning, just like the butler told me. The butler? Your paid killer. He's working for the Queen's farm. His name is. I know his name. You needn't speak it loud. Continue, please. I left to go to the library. I say I couldn't sleep. I had one of my mates stay there with me, so that I'll have a solid alibi. And when you went back to your room, he was dead. My husband was dead. I screamed really loud, just like you told me to. Good girl. Seems everything went off without a hitch. Copacetic. Now, please, are they safe? Huh? Are who safe? My family. Please tell me that they're okay. All right, your family. Yes, you got nothing to worry about. You play your part to perfection. No harm shall come to them so long as you keep it up. They'll continue to live their little lives, completely ignorant of any potential danger that might be on the horizon. To think that you'll kick up such fuss because I threatened some trifling pumpkin relatives of yours, I suppose it's admirable. They mean a lot to me. I used to spend a lot of time with my extended family when I was a girl. Oh, Vesca, you are still a girl, aren't you? Such a sweet, naive girl. You mustn't worry anymore. I'm here for you now. If you ever want anything, you need only to ask. As far as I'm concerned, I've done you a great service. Don't you feel better now that your contemptible husband is gone? I'm well aware that he beat you when he was drunk. Our mutual friend, the butler, told me as much. Please be candid with me. I want to know how you feel. I feel terrible. I mean, my husband was a violent man. He really scared me. But he was still a person. I don't think he deserved to die. Such sentimentally to be expected. But should be easy to overcome in time. And I feel even worse about Edric. My brother really impressed himself upon you, huh? I can hardly believe my ears. I know it was my job to, well, you forced me to seduce him, and at first that's all he wants to me. What? You know, my job. But he's such a sweet man, I couldn't help but start to, well, feel things towards him. He wants so bad to take me away from here, to hide me and protect me from Michelle. And he could have, I let him. I was just 18 when I got married, and it was to a man such much older than I am. I had never known my love in my life before, not really. She starts to tear up again. And now I've hurt the person that I think I love. My dear Vesca, just think about it like this. My way brought this save you from your husband, in a roundabout way. He might not have killed the man, but he is the reason Michelle is dead. Were it not for my devious little plot, Michelle may well have continued beating on you for decades to come, and in all sincerity I'm sure that Edith will forgive you someday if you tell him the truth. After all, I forced you to do it. He'll likely understand. What? Are you saying I'll see him again? Well, the last thing he told me when I saw him earlier was that he was going to find his way back here and kill me. So, either we will or he's filthy liar, I suppose. Hee. Aren't you afraid? On the contrary, when you are prone to boredom as I am, such a prospect is simply exhilarating. I had hope he gives it a try. I stroll over to her and sit down and rest my hands on her shoulders, giving them a light massage. Now, with regards to the trial next week, yes, I suppose it goes without saying that you are going to tell His Majesty and the rest of the council that the blame rests solely with my brother and that his family ought not to be given some sort of collective punishment. You are going to tell him that you and I are great friends and that you will not want me see me suffer for my brother's sins. My husband brother will be furious. He really doesn't like me very much and he expects me to be his ally here. Let me worry about Lord's divorce, sweetheart. I'll pull her into a tender embrace. Like I told you, Angel, I'm here for you now. Don't you fret. Yes. Is there anything else you want from me? Probably infringe upon her enough for the time being, and she's too important for me to treat flippantly. If I were to build a real rapport with her, it would be best if I give her some space for now. No, that should be all. Farewell, Vesk. I have no doubt you hate me for the time being, but I think we'll come to be good friends. Her voice visibly relaxed at news of my departure. She's afraid of me, can't blame her. Winning her affection will be quite the amusing little challenge. Having dealt with the most pressing matters, I take it upon myself to stroll around the city of my youth for a while. A proverbial victory lap, not that I deserve to be taking one. This place may look exact as I did 5 years ago, but looks kinda safe. If I'm to dig my family out of this hole that I create, I got to reacclimate and get with the times. I find myself in a Voyage Square, arguably the central plaza of the entire Duchy. This place is a structure that dovetails into several different streets I can investigate. Where should I go? Okay, we have a lot of places, so let's start from the top. Sorina Serpentine. Interesting, isn't much going over here. The once lively Sorina Serpentine seems oddly cold, not to mention dilapidated. Granted, around the time I left, Sorina was starting to develop a bit of reputation for being crime-riddled and whatnot. The rumors are a tad overstated, but I can't pretend they are totally baseless. The Black Hilt were largely based here back when they were working for me. I wonder if they are still around. A girl can never have enough cutthroat savage on her payroll. Whatever the case may be, it's plain to see that this is far from a trendy shopping destination. I doubt any of the target attacks toward the borough have taken place around here. As I turn to leave, some vagrant stumbles out of an alley to accost me. Typical. Hey, what are you doing here? I'm a lady of the night, obviously. 500,000 lira and all yours. Huh? 500,000? That's way too much money. Are you stupid? I'm currently dignify your existence by speaking with you, so I must be. Yeah, that's right, I'm real dignified. I'm an important guy around here and stuff. Really? Oh my. In that case, I apologize for being curt. Do you mind if I ask some questions, since you are such an important chap? Questions? What questions? Well, questions like... Has any strange been going on around here recently? Some of the nearby streets are rather crowded, but it's quite... as I'm also over here. Do you know why that is? You shouldn't stick your nose where it don't belong. Now go on, this ain't place for little girls. I'm not so little, you know. Do you have slightest inkling in that vacuous head of yours with whom you are speaking? Nah, I don't. Who? I really shouldn't give my identity away. The last thing I want is for it to be known that Idovero is asking around. Well, I'm leaving now. Yeah, get out of here. If you stick around, you might find out that this place is actually friendly. If you get my meaning. One could even say things get dangerous and unsafe around here. If you catch my drift. Ugh. I'm out of here. Where should I go? Okay, Rosie Road. This is quite something. I must prepare Market Street. I never see it half as busy as this. It's good to know that busy is blowing, but the sheer density of the crowd he has to got to be some sort of health hazard. Adding to the chaos are numerous guards that have been posted all over the area. I can see what I meant when he said that this place is too busy to properly supervise. I'm leaning against the wall of the side, isn't too wet at sea of people. Concentrate on the street. Ish. I fear I'll trample to death if I try to walk with the rest of them. Not to mention some degenerate is bound to harass me. This really isn't the place for delicate and gorgeous females such as myself. Hey, you talking to yourself over here? It's just the thing for ya. This here is Henbane, guaranteed to exercise whatever demons are possessing ya if it don't kill you first. Or this here, Ginseng, real miracle. My cousin was lunatic just like you, but he fixed him right away. Quite hawking your sheep wears at me, you sir. Tell me, do you own property here? Are you licensed to trade in the Varro territory? Oi, why so many questions? Don't you worry your pretty little head about it. Look, I have more for word too. It will take menstruation a breeze. I could do 3 for the price of 2. Grr. This is no environment to conduct investigation. I have to come back later with some sort of strategy. Who are you talking to? Where should I go? Lantern Way. There's a decent amount of activity here, but all aged it's no more than normal. Don't ask me how or why, but Lantern Way has long been the sporadic gathering place for the Argati people. Theirs is a race without a homeland, since the one they had was absorbed to the kingdom long ago. They've built up quite decent mercantile area here. It's possible that this could be one of the places criminals have been terrorizing. I doubt, I can think of a number of states that will make better targets. Still, it won't hurt to ask around a bit. I saw toward the first man I see and strike up a conversation with the man. Hello there, will you mind if I ask you some questions? Just my luck. Sorry, I don't understand. Can you speak common language? No, not at all. How in the world are you managed to survive in the city? Ah, forget this. Well, that was lastly a waste of time. I suppose I should have known better that to expect people to treat LA with the gravity she deserves. This entire afternoon has been for enough. I'll need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a plan. It's already getting late. I suppose I should cover with Dad. He'll need to prepare my accommodations. I said not going to live in that house with him again. Far too suffocating. She'll have asked him earlier. It's completely slipped my mind. But first I'll go a little out of my way and stop by Sea Cliff Ward. It might be outside of the borough, but it's been far too long since last I've been, and the ocean always seems to galvanize me. I take in slight smells that have eluded me for the past 5 years as I make my way to Sea Cliff. It's nice to see that Bosque is anachronistic as ever. Of all the great towns, there is the duchy with the oldest and most dated architecture. I suppose there is something to be said for maintaining tradition and whatnot, but... What? You can't be serious. I overheard a commotion of sorts. I'm sorry, Elia. Really, I am. 4 straight months of tax hikes. How am I meant to stay afloat? You know me, Philip. You have known me for a long time now. Tell me, how am I meant to survive? Orders from top, there is nothing I can do. The rumors about Bosque have to be true. It seems like everyone else in the city is flourishing and you are bleeding us dry. I can't comment on that. Alice, I'm not going along with this time. If yours are from top, then I want Lord Bosque himself to come here and explain that what rational is for robbing me like this. Come on, Elia. I don't want to fight. I don't want this to get ugly. Patriarch Bosque is far too busy to deal with the gripes of common Americans. You know full well what will happen if you refuse to pay. All you'll be doing is getting yourself hurt. Yeah, well, maybe I'm doing non-paying. Maybe I'll just get out of here for good. You talk a big game, Elia. But remember that you pledged your alliance to us of your own free will. Don't pretend you will to become a wanted fugitive over this. Just pay me, I'll be on my way. I'm sorry, Philip. Sometimes it's necessary to stand on principle. So go tell people who pulled your strings that they will need to calm down here and face me if they hope to see another lyra from me. I'll eat your way. Only 3. Seems the coffers have run dry for the house of Bosque. What sort of indulgence could possibly bankrupt such prestigious noble family? Perhaps it's something I'll have to look into. For now, the ocean awaits. There's the film that eluded me for all those years. Having been landlocked for so long, well, it's nice to be back. I am far from the nature lover, but the salty smell, the sound of crashing waves, it always serves to cleanse my mind and of intrusive thoughts to balance me. As usual, there's hardly anyone here. Nothing much seems to go on in this little pocket of city. All completely alone in my tranquility, were it not for that peculiar girl standing near the ledge. She gaped at the ocean, seemingly spellbound as she watched the tide fall. She's certainly more transfixed than I am. Honestly, I'm a little worried that she'll fall off if I surprise her. Hello. Ah, hello. Oh my, you are so beautiful. What is an elegant lady like you doing in a place as this? Trying to stimulate my mind, I suppose. I came here often when I was a child. The sea was kind of a backdrop from my creativity. Oh, are you an artist? Yes, of sorts. It doesn't feel as though I'm lying. After all, the delightful devilish schemes constitute art in my book. It will need to depend how loosely you define art. You could say I've conducted many a masterpiece over the years. That's so cool. I think anything can be art if someone wills it into being. I couldn't agree more. How about you? Do you come here often? I think so, but I'm not quite sure. Not sure? How is that possible? I don't know, but I can say for sure that this place feels important to me. Perhaps there is something omnipresent that draws the both of us here, like a force of nature that can never be fully annulled of its innocence and wonder. You are an odd one, aren't you? Tell me, if you could wish for anything in the world, what would it be? That's quite the question. I'm not sure, let me think about it. Well, I can't say I will wish for anything that I desire now. That will be no fun. After all, the most rewarding part of getting what you want lies in the drawing there. So I suppose I'll have to wish for something outside the realm of possibility. Oh, me too, like a unicorn maybe. I think. I'll wish to understand just what it is that people enjoy about playing chess. Chess? You are familiar, surely? Oh yes, I never played though. Lucky you, I was forced to on many occasions growing up, sad to say. Could never quite understand what the point of it all was. What is there to enjoy when winning and losing entirely arbitrary? I mean, what is that those the victor of recreational chess matches stand to gain? Mere bragging rights? It's also dreadful though. I will usually play poorly on purpose so that I will be over quickly. But it seemed like everyone around me couldn't get enough of it. I suppose I would like to understand what it was that moved them so. Even feel that way myself perhaps. We needn't stop at chess though. Music, dance, falconry, poetry, horseback riding, all of the right hobbies people fancy. No matter how gifted I found myself at any of them, they never stirred my heart. If that weren't the case, well, perhaps I'll turn out a lot differently. Wow, that's so eloquent. You're a really interesting person. Am I blushing? Thank you. You are too kind. And what about reading? A noble lady like you must have all sorts of amazing books. Well, I read rather frequently, yes. See, I knew it. Yes, but I read to improve myself, to become smarter, better. It's part of work for me. I can't really say that I enjoy it. I see, that's very mysterious. Hardly. Literacy is a privilege afforded to so few. It almost feels like a waste on me. You had to go to some forlorn dreamer with their head in the clouds, no? Such a pleasure could be life-changing. Or so I imagine. I think you are being hard on yourself. You read your books to become super smart. Well, I'll say you have used your powers for good. Good, right. You're rather kind. Not really, I'm just speaking my mind. I wish I could stay long, but I have to go to. Oh, import business to attend to? Well, not desired. It's more that I can't stay for too long. It will be a headache to explain. Oh, sounds strangely suspicious. Fine, then keep your secrets. Nah, it's nothing like that. I got to run. It was really nice meeting you. Likewise. Wait, yes? I didn't get your name. Oh, you can call me Nadia. I'll see you around, Duvessa. What a peculiar girl. Wait a minute, how did she know my name? I could say I never gave it to her. Well, now that I'm too flushed to think, I suppose I'll move on. So she knew our name without us giving. Huh. Who is that kid? You say you don't want to live here? That's right, I had some 90 years of experience living in Kingsward, and I'm quite ready for a new frontier. Duvessa, we live in Spain for our safety, you know that. You are part of nobility, and a woman at that. The world is full of the sort of characters who will resent you and take advantage of you. Living here is the only way I can ensure that no harm will come to you. If this is about your own privacy, I'm sure I can find another. No, not at all, not at all. I won't mind living with you, it's certainly that I'm incapable with. If I have to spend a moment more than it's absolutely necessary in this wretched place, I'm liable to run away again. Or claw out my eyes, perhaps. I'm sorry, my daughter, but this is ultimately my decision to make, and I just can't let you go. Is that so? It's bad to try to reason with him. Dad, I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement here. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the fact of the matter is that I'm going to be doing very important work for us going forward, and I ought to live in an ideal environment if I try to be staying here and helping you. Better environment that isn't ideal than one that isn't safe to visit. Come on now. Why don't you send me off your grounds to stand and watch at my new residence? Surely that will be more than safe enough. Fine, you can live elsewhere, but will accompanied by an armed escort wherever you go, understand? You'll end up feeling less independent out there than you will here, mark my words. I think it's a risk worth taking. Thank you ever so much, Daddy, I'm glad I could make you see reason. Reason isn't the exact term I will use, but where were you thinking of staying? The streets are ever watchful in this city. It would be best if I took refuge someplace quiet. Well, it's simple, really. I wish to live in Devereux Family Manor. You know, the one over in Griffin Beak that's been accumulating cobwebs for some time now. Griffin's Beak? You want to live amongst those savages? You jest. Hardly I'm earnest as I can be. Why in the world you want to live amongst a bunch of peons? Don't you remember what I told you earlier? As we speak, they plan to rebel against us. Hehehe, you nobles on your quizzical snobbery. What the peasants need is a lead that will stand with them rather than against them. If I ingratiate myself, they are certain to think I'm sympathetic to their cause, if they don't kill you first. A fantasy. They won't dare risk retribution that will come their way, were they to senseless murder a young and beautiful heiress such I. Besides, I'll be accompanied by armed guard. I'll hardly be living amongst them anyway. It's a giant house on top of a hill, for Verun's sake. I don't like it at all. But if that's what you want, excellent. Raid a carriage for me and I'll be out of your hair. Duviesa. Do you make any progress today? I mean, what do you find out? Tut tut. Asking such stressful questions. Please, just trust that I'll succeed. Relax and put your faith in me. If there is information I deem worthy of sharing with you, you'll know as soon as possible. Right. Well, get your things together. Alive confined in him. Do they not mean such an unmitigated disaster? Probably not. Here I go, off to start my rustic life in the countryside, my own little foxhole sequestered from the prying eyes of nobility, the safe haven in which I laid the foundation for the world domination or whatever else strikes my fancy, surrounded by my father's minions. Well, perhaps they will belong to me in due time. Lady Devereaux, you have asked me to brief you on the state of the manor. Proceed. Well, it's largely abandoned for some time now. We deem to have it properly furnished stuff as soon as possible, but for now you could say it will be roughing it. That's quite alright. This was all had the last minute of me. After all alone in big empty house though, it is a mite depressing. May I ask you a question, my lady? What's on your mind? I suppose I'm just curious. What is that attracted you to live in a manor outside of the city? You aren't like the other novels I met in Hostgate. Well, I should hope so. Yes, it seems they prefer living in the city. They see it as a direct upgrade over living out the countryside. He's not wrong. The least Korean multipartite system has highly encouraged nobles to abdicate the day-to-day operation of their fiefdoms and flock to the big cities. Those who can afford to do so, that is. This is a result of lack protection for the peasantry, something that looters and bandits have been taking advantage of for a while now. The city is where all the action is at, it's true. I like to make the commute on a daily basis. What's your name? Fox, my lady. Are you a knight or just a common mercenary? A knight, my lady. Sir Fox. You look quite young. Tell me, do your aspirations run deeper than your service as a knight? You like to have an estate of your own someday? Well, I don't see why not. If I can earn it serving your family, I mean. To hang up my sword and live a simple life with my family does sound nice. Pertaining to your question, if you like to raise your stage, you'll do well to seek counsel from those who are struggling in ways you have not. People who have needed to adapt to harsh and ever-changing environments, you know. The King's War span is chock full of old money aristocrats, complacent fools who left their ambitions and work ethic at door when they emerge from the womb. You're never going to get ahead in life so long as you think like noble. Remember that. Whoa, you really are something special, my lady. If you don't mind my saying. My thanks, Sir Fox. I want you to strive to be special like me, alright? I express myself with my own motivational rigor. Good old Devereaux Manor. It's a nice home, really. That it's been abandoned for long is a crying shame. It's located at top of the hillside that lords over the rest of the village, directing an aura of hierarchy and strength toward all of the serfs. Of course, that only works if the mine is actually occupied, which it wasn't until now. As Sir Fox managed, the inside is looking a touch empty. I rather like this place though. The bed is nice and cold, the color scheme is quite regal as well. Mother and father never lived here permanently when I was young, but this was their bedroom when they did visit, and now it's mine. A little strange to think about. This room is full of tools, axe, hammers. I spot an auger in the corner over there. Why is all of this here? Is someone using this place? I'll have to ask someone about it tomorrow. How bizarre. I should get some rest. Tomorrow must be a productive day. I haven't the luxury of wasting time. Try as I might for what must be half hour, sleep doesn't seem to come, which is unusual since I tend to find dozing off nearly effortless. Normally I share bed with someone or other, going it alone is particularly uncharted territory at this stage of my life. Everything I do tends to feel so pointless and arbitrary when there aren't many people around to take notes. Even something as vital and rudimentary as falling asleep feels unproductive. I'm aware of how stupid that sounds, and yet I can't seem to outgrow my strange dependencies. Perhaps I should have brought one of my handmaidens with me. rather than leave them in that awful place. Oh well. If I'm not going to sleep, I might as well think about my next move, reflecting on my progress. I learned nothing of all today. If I want to get better information tomorrow, I need to be smarter. Maybe I should go find Branco tomorrow morning. I'll be much more intimidated with a brute the likes of him by my side. I did promise him further employment. Or maybe... Huh? What the hell was that sound? Now should I get up to investigate? Now it's coming from the direction of the strange room with tools. As I approach, I'm stopped in my tracks by a faint noise. Whoa! Spider, what better way to break in my new abode than with a home invasion on the first night? Should I scream for the guards? Not yet. This has potentially fun, and it was only a woman's voice. Who's there? I cast a step forward, illuminated the dark room with torchlight. It's a girl. A cute girl. Dressed in men's garments. Did she fall down? Oh my gosh. Hey, who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Well, I asked first, and I live here. I also have dangerous men in my employ who will tell your limb from limb if you don't answer me. How do you even get in here? Didn't the guard see you? You live here? No way. This place has been the barn for so long. We use it for storage. Yes, I can see that. Perhaps I'll store your head in here with the rest of the tools if you don't answer my question. What's your name? Oh, I'm sorry. It's Erika. I live over on town. I'm sorry for intruding. I didn't know, I swear. Erika, what are you doing here? Well, I've been fixing a roof all day long. I lost track of time and I came here to return some things. Fixing a roof? But you are a woman. Haha, yep, that's what everyone says. But I like to be outside and help out. If it's men's work. Somehow becoming my thing around here. And that's why you're wearing that outfit? Yep. Have you tried climb an apple tree wearing a skirt? It's not very fun. I'm impressed, Erika. You seem like a strong person. Thanks. Can I stand up now? By all means. So, what's your... Oh, you are totally naked. Aren't you perceptive? Does it bother you? No, not at all. But aren't I violate your privacy? I don't mind. I see. Do you have a husband or... No. It's just too easy for an elephant to crawl through the eye of a needle than for me to fall asleep wearing clothes. You mean you can't fall asleep unless you are naked? Guilty as charged. Fabrics feel like thorns on my skin when I'm trying to relax. Haha, that's so weird. I suppose it is. So, I don't know where to look. Perhaps it will be best to gaze into my piercing radiant eyes. Right, of course. What's your name? It's Duvesa, perhaps you heard of me. Duvesa. That name is kind of long, don't you think? It has many syllables as yours does. Can I call you something for short, like Vesa? No, still too long. How can I make Vesa shorter, though? What? Oh, I know. What if I call you V? V? As in the letter? Yeah, I'm shortening your name to the extreme. Erika, do you remember the part where I told you I have armored guards outside? Kind of big deal, you know. I don't doubt it. And a special part is a special nickname, don't you think? Well, that's... Shoot, it's late. I wasn't supposed to be here for so long. I gotta run. It was nice to meet you, V. I'll see you around. Wait, don't you... Too late. In a flash he was gone. I may never discover what black magic she conjured up to get in and out of here undetected. She is an interesting girl though. I must admit, thinking out about her frantic energy and cheerful demand is making me feel, shall we say, worked up. She was really good. God damn it. I could do without any additional distract right now. So she is fixing roofs. Next morning, as I'm making my outside for today's excursion, two of the lucky wards of the house start to trail me. Excuse me, I gave no indication that I want you to tag along. I'm afraid we have to, my lady, your father's orders. Just go about your business, pretend we aren't here. My business necessitates anonymity, gentlemen. I might as well not bother if there are two fools in the world called shouting my every move. It's off our hands. You have to take your concerns with the Patriarch. We'll be real stealthy. No one will even notice us. A likely story. Little choice, but to go along with it for now, I'll have to lose these jokers later. Fine, let's depart, shall we? We are headed to an inn located around the northern port area. The Rustic Raccoon, I believe. As you wish, my lady. Because we now go for that guy in the beginning. Tell me, is this area still lawless scripted? More or less, my lady. Fellner is steadfast as having their commitment to make this place a neutral ground to facilitate free trade. So in other words, there aren't many guards posted here to enforce the law. The Crown has made some reforms in the past few years, but it's still a work in progress. Indeed, it pains me to think of danger you could have faced where we not here with you. Well, that makes one of us. Why is it that no one appreciates a good bit of danger? The during rush, dying stakes, it can be positively wonderful. I ever so narrowly escaped a mugging once. It was great fun. Your unattached aside, it is our duty to ensure your safety. Fine, be that way. We arrive, I swear, if that big gorilla isn't here. Wait out here, gentlemen. Molly, I'm afraid we must... Oh, stick it in your ear. It's a small inn. I promise I'll scream if anyone so much touches me, alright? I never... Best to let Lady have it her way. We can keep an eye out for any suspicious crash if we stay here. Fine, just be on your guard, please, my lady. I always am, my dear Stooge. Always am. That's a raccoon. So, gonna stop here. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, of course, it's early access, doesn't have everything. It has the first chapter, everything of chapter 1, but then the part 2, it doesn't have all the story. But it's interesting because you have a lot of choice to do. It's gonna create your paths, but it's gonna take time to get full game. But of course, you know how it is, these games with Sci-Fi. To see all the content that the game has, you need to load the patch to see everything. But the story is interesting because we play with the Vesa that lives, and of course she wants to be the heir of the kingdom, and she needs to do all the tricks that exist in the book to get to there, right? But it takes time. Of course, you need to like I always say, you need to like visual novels. This one is a visual novel, it's not like an RPG, nothing like that. But you need to like visual novels, but the artwork is very good. The choice that makes you to think what you want, even in the beginning, to say what you study and everything, it even has choice for that. So it depends of the players, but of course it's early access. Like I always say, you need to wait. Like you can buy and play. Like that, you have the game and it's cheaper when you buy in early access, because when the full game comes out, it becomes more expensive a little bit. It's always like that. So if you like this type of games, visual novels with different choice, buy it early. Like that, it's an early access is more cheap. Like that, when the game has all the content, right, becomes full, you already have the game and you even know that it has all the content. And then if you want to see everything that game has, you need to download the patch. Don't forget, go to Sci-Fi website and there will be there the patch. Like that, you download, put on the game, and you get everything that game has to offer. So hope you guys enjoy and see you guys next time.